sitting here today with Staff Sergeant Nick Bevan. Hi, Nick.
Hey, good morning.
Nick serves as an airframes mechanic with Marine Aviation Logistics Squadron 13, the 3rd Marine Aircraft Wing at the Marine Corps Air Station in Yuma, Arizona. So you're a little it's a little cold here in Tampa this week, but
Yeah, I was looking forward to some warmer weather, and I didn't get it.
no, none of us did. Well, Nick, I want to just tell everybody that you actually received a Navy and Marine Corps Achievement Medal for designing a 3D printable maintenance tool, and this is supporting aircraft maintenance.
Correct.
So, congratulations.
Thank you.
And tell us about that journey.
So, the actual award was a complete surprise to me. We had
That's good.
generals love to come and tour sites and randomly pop in, and the assistant wing commander, so a 1-star general, came through, and he saw what we were doing with additive manufacturing, and I guess he had never seen it before, didn't realize how we were applying it.
Yeah.
So we showed him the process, showed him the different job aids that we'd produced, and he took it back to the wing commander, the 2-star, and then a couple weeks later, the whole posse, the whole entourage came through, and we're checking out our 3D printers, asking us questions, and so it was awesome.
That's really cool. Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's good to be recognized.
Yeah,
A lot of great things happen all the time, right? But you don't get people aren't always watching. So good for you.
Thank you.
So one of the things I want to pull out from you today is sort of how does this happen on the ground? Like, you are what I like to call the last mile of readiness, and it's really important, the work that you're doing. And so when you had that idea for a 3D printed maintenance tool, what was the real approval path? Like, who had to say yes before anyone could actually use it on the job?
So I'll mention job aids a lot,
Yes.
because they're my favorite part of what we do. And part of that is because it's so easy to use that technology. I can basically come up with an idea, or my Marines can come up with an idea. We can make a part, go through a couple different iterations. Once it's a usable part, I take it to my direct supervisor, so my officer that's in charge of basically QA. And if he gives us the green light, he can sign off on it, and we're good to go.
Okay.
Now I can give that tool to all the Marines who might need it for their use.
So it's a simple process for your command, which
Correct.
is nice.
And that's that falls under like the Naval Aviation Program. So any Marine Corps aviation unit has that capability for that workflow.
That's fast.
Yeah.
That's envious. That's an
Yeah.
envious process. Well, but there are always bottlenecks, right? So let's pull the thread on that. So
Okay.
in your experience, what slows AM down more in maintenance unit? Is it getting the design right? Is it getting access to files or materials or the printer? Or is it getting permission?
That's so that's probably not going to come as any surprise. It's the permission part.
No.
As an aviation mechanic, as soon as I take a component and now I want to put it on an aircraft that goes out and flies, that's where they draw the line between your boss in Yuma can sign off on it versus Big Navy now has to sign off on it. So that's the biggest kind of logistical hurdle, being able to get that process approved.
Okay, that makes sense. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a bigger system in it that we all have to be mindful of.
Yeah.
Well, so once the tool works, all right, how do you prevent random versions from spreading? You know, like who owns the file? How do you control revisions? What makes one print of the same tool as another?
Yeah. So going back to when I got my award, that's a good example. So we were in the prototyping stages of our like 2nd or 3rd iteration of that tool. So as soon as I got interviewed and like everything got pushed out there, I started getting emails from people, and they're like, hey, can you send me that file? Like, we would love to use that here. And I had to kind of tread carefully, because I didn't want to be like, yeah, here you go. Now all of a sudden this file's out there, people can modify it.
Yes.
So once we verified that it worked, we go through a submission process. So once we locally verify that it's good to go, we then let NavAir know, and they upload it to a repository.
So then it can be officially
Correct.
used, and they don't have to call good old Nick Bevan,
Yeah,
wake him up
say,
from
hey,
whatever
is
part of the
this-
world they're at.
Yeah. exactly.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's really the right way to do it. You make it sound easy, but I'm sure it wasn't. Um, so your story really does show real-time savings and downtime reduction, and you know, what would have to change for this kind of additive manufacturing tool making to become the norm across the aviation maintenance units, and not just a great success for you and your team
Yeah.
because you're smart and all that. So what has to change?
Probably my biggest hurdle is who knows about the process.
Okay.
So I mentioned it yesterday when I was talking. I'm one of about maybe 10 Marines in Yuma, so on our whole base, that do additive manufacturing.
Okay.
So if we take leave or I go to a different unit or something, I don't want that process to die with me or with the Marines under me. So I think integrating some form of training, or maybe like a crash course into our schoolhouse pipeline.
Good.
So when Marines get to the fleet, they know what 3D printing is, they know how it can help them.
You know, I just had Chief Warrant Officer 3, Matt Pine, up here from Camp Lejeune, and formerly of Camp Pendleton. He's been around. He's been around the block, not to Yuma.
He's a legend.
He is a legend. I quite agree. At America Makes, we do have some training that we're happy to share with you. So let's get hooked up and let's figure that out.
Absolutely.
Because if that's a concern, let's fix it together. Because we absolutely can embed that in the regime there. And I do think you're right. I mean, you have so many people cycling through. Maintaining that readiness and that knowledge base is it's an ephemeral challenge. It really is.
It changes very fast in the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
People are constantly coming and going, and
well, beyond workforce, there's all this, I always ask this question because this maybe hopefully unlocks some ideas you have. So if you could change one rule or standard practice that would really help maintainers to use additive responsibly, of course without cutting any corners, what would you change first?
I think probably the training pipeline.
So training is definitely it.
So right now, the only approval or the only approved means for me to qualify Marines is the Navy puts on a phenomenal course in Virginia, where Marines can go and
that's a great place.
Yeah, and they can
but
go.
It's intense. It's like 8 weeks or something.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, they stay in an apartment and they go from learning like crawl, walk, run. Yeah. So they do modeling, how to maintain the printers. I guess what I would like to see is more of that. I don't want there to be just one location.
Yeah,
I want to be able to have my guys go to a community college that offers that similar curriculum and get the same quality training. So it's it's just because it's so new. So they're obviously not going to field that type of training until we verify it works. But
well, I want to congratulate you on your tenacity, which is a hallmark of being Marine, but
thank you. Also
that you've done these things and you're passing it on to others. That's really the best thing you can possibly do. I say this positively and negatively. Live and learn and pass it on. The good stuff and the bad stuff. So thank you for sharing some of the good stuff. And I look forward to seeing you next year at MilAM, since we determined this is your first one.
Yep.
So I hope we get to meet again. It was really nice talking to you.
Thank you. Very nice talking to you too.
Yeah, have a great show.
Thank you. Had a blast.
Yes.